And welcome to High Point High School here in Waters, New Jersey. As Brian Thomas Basketball presents high school basketball, it's a big Colonial Division battle out of the NJAC as the host High Point Wildcats come in a record of 7-3, 5-0 in the Colonial Division under their veteran head coach Jesse Strells. They take on the Sussex Tech Mustangs, who come in a record of 7-2, 4-1 in the division under their coach Andrew Carbone, who's done a great job with this program. As this is a big battle, as High Point, as we said, 5-0 in the division, and Sussex Tech 4-1. Their lone loss was a loss to High Point earlier in the year. It was a big one for High Point, a big win, 78-48. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dan Cleary. Going to bring in my friend Brian Thomas. Brian, great to be here with you, and this is a big game, but we got some people you want to thank, right?
Yeah, Dan, always a pleasure to be with you. We want to thank Sussex Tech and High Point both for sponsoring the games tonight. We also want to thank Unique Concrete, and they are a decorative concrete company specializing in stamped concrete and have been serving northern New Jersey and the lower Hudson Valley since 1980. Unique Concrete's unique stamping process creates a more realistic surface than any other stamped concrete. You can visit them at uniqueconcretenewjersey.com, and you can also find them on Facebook at Unique Concrete New Jersey.
All right, so let's talk about Tech first. We got to see them on Monday night. They beat Hopakon, got off to a little bit slow start, but then pulled away. They got a lot of size. They're very athletic. What do we know about the Mustangs?
Yeah, and they have a lot of seniors too, so they've been gearing up for this year for a number of years, and they've so far have really done a nice job this season of defending. They come out in different looks. They come out in different types of zones. They will mix up a man. They will mix up a little bit of full court press as well. But they've got some talented guys. They got Elliot Griner at the point position who can handle the basketball, brings a lot of senior leadership. We saw him finish quite a bit in the lane the other night really well. He's able to knock down the three. You got Justin Hetman, who is a beast down low but can knock down the mid-range and really attack the basket. So they've got a number of other pieces from there. Will White can light it up from three. So they got a lot of different weapons, and like you said, they're pretty big, so they're going to be able to rebound the basketball as well. So I expect them to step up and play well tonight.
Yeah, it'll be a contrast in styles. High Point wants to run, gun. You're my three for your two. Talk about the contrast in styles.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, High Point is a little bit leaner, but, man, they can shoot the basketball. If they catch fire, they got about 3 or 4 or 5 guys that can hit 2 or 3 in a row, and that starts with Braden Franco. I mean, I've seen him in the offseason hit 7, 8, 9 threes in a game, so he is more than fully capable. Jacob Guntek is their point guard, their leadership guy who's going to control the basketball, control the tempo. Noah Riley can fill it up quickly. And so they have a number of different guys that can shoot the basketball and score. The question is, are they going to be able to rebound and limit Tech to one shot?
So it should be an interesting showdown. We've got the Sussex Tech starting lineup. We'll give you number 45, Jeremiah Fontanez, 3 points a game. And Elliot Griner, as we talked about, 5.7 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He's number 4. And number 24, Justin Hetman, who had a great game against back on 21 points.
Sure did.
He averages 14.5 points a game, 8 rebounds. And Will White, we talked about what a great athlete is, 11.5 points a game, 4 rebounds a game for the Mustangs, who are having their best season right now, 7 wins. Their best under Carbone has been 9. And this would be going a long way towards that, breaking that record. They would give them 8 wins right now.
Yeah, they're on track to shatter that. And again, this is a year they've been looking forward and building towards for a number of years. And so far, it's come to fruition. And this is as big a game as they've played in a while.
Yes, indeed.
You know, so that's why they've been gearing towards this, and I do expect them to play well and step up to the plate.
They're starting lineup. Number 1, Slade Miller, who's all energy. He's out there starting. He scores about 3.7 a game. It's about 5 rebounds a game. Then you got number 2, Jacob Junta. He's a guard. About 10 points a game, 2.7 rebounds. And he's got 11 three-pointers. Noah Riley, he can light it up, 21 threes. He averages 11 points a game. And then Braden Franco, 13.5 points a game, 27 threes, as Brian talked about. So this is a talented team. And rounding out the starting line is Colin Tennant.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your hats to the flag of our national anthem.
ready. Excuse me, folks. So we're ready for the opening tip. High Point in their home dark uniforms. Sussex Tech, the visiting team in the home white. High Point has not won a boys basketball division title since the old SCIL days, 1995.
Wow.
So this would be quite an accomplishment for High Point. They've always battled, but
Yeah.
they've been in the Freedom, and the Freedom it's either back would be either Newton or Jefferson
Sure.
or Hackettstown.
Hackettstown.
So a chance here to go 6-0 in the division and really give himself a little separation. So a big game for both these clubs.
Yeah, this is certainly something that was on their list at the beginning of the season, was to win this division. So if they're able to accomplish that, that's just, one notch on their chain for this season, and keep on rolling from there.
All right, jump ball won by Hetman using those hops. So we'll see if Coach Carbone uses that size early on.
High Point's going to come out man-to-man to start.
Fontanez gives it to Will White, swings it over to Griner. Griner puts it on the deck. He pulls up, and he's blocked. Braden Franco with the rejection.
And I like looking at some of these defensive matchups. You got Slade Muller on Justin Hetman. He's going to try to use his length to combat Justin's length.
On the inbounds, they get it inside, swing it over. Hetman. Long shot, no good. Rebound. This is where it's going to be key for High Point.
Yes.
They're going to need to do well on the boards against the big guys. Colin Tennant with the board.
Yeah, they're going to have to do their best to limit Tech to one shot.
Junta kicks it out. Putting on the deck with the little runner. Can't get it to go. Slade Muller. Griner with the board. Tech looks to run. Now put on the brakes. Sean Garrison out there, number 3, coming off an amazing football season for Sussex Tech. Griner swings it over. White left alone for 3. Can't get it to go. Back rim, battle for the board. Tech gets it. In the paint, blocked again. So a couple of blocks early on here for the Wildcats. Noah Riley dumps it inside. Kicks it out. Puts it on the deck. A little ball fake. They'll swing it up. Junta fires from 3. Knocks it down.
And Dan, when we were here a week ago, we saw Jacob hit a couple threes, a couple big shots early to get them off to a great start. And he's doing it again here tonight.
That's what they do. They dribble, drive, and kick. They don't really look to attack the basket, even when they're real close.
Right.
It's going back out. Griner looks to answer. Short rimmed it. Garrison with the board. Ball pops out loose. And it will be High Point ball. Good hustle there by Noah Riley.
Wildcats dodged a couple bullets there last 2 possessions, because between Will White and Elliot Griner, they got 2 wide open threes that they just happened to miss.
High Point with 76 threes on the season.
Wow.
Sussex Tech 31.
And Tech's going to be into that morphing 2-3 that we saw the other night.
From the corner, short. Good board by Muller, but stolen by Fontanez. And just a little too strong, looking for Hetman on the run out. And you can see Coach Andrew Carbone saying, settle down, guys.
Hey,
They know
look,
it's a big game.
Yeah, it's a huge game, and both teams know it, and they've been working towards this. And, I mean, what better in mid-January to have a game with stakes on the line?
You're going to buy a steaks, you said?
Yeah, stakes. They're on the line.
On the line. They're coming on
right
down?
over there.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Junta kicks it out. Turnover. Sussex Tech ball.
So I know part of Tech's game plan is try to keep Jacob in front of them on that dribble drive. And they don't because they, as you mentioned, they are going to try to drive and quick kick quite a bit, but that's precipitated by him getting into the lane and getting into the teeth of the defense.
Back to Fontanez. Will White from way downtown. We'll have our first foul.
But I like what Coach Carbone is doing. He's trying to get Will White loose early, running a couple of different plays for him, because we saw him the other night, and Hopakam put a box and 1 on him, and I'm not even sure he took more than 3 shots. So to get him off and running early is going to be a big key.
Noah Riley would pick up the foul, his first, team's first. Hetman waiting. And you know what the key too was, there's another steal. I was just going to say their interior defense has been great. Loose ball, come back to Tech. High Point's got 2 blocks already.
Yes, they do.
I think Coach Jesse Stroh will be very happy if Tech settles for jump shots tonight.
No question.
I think I saw Jesse's dad walking in. He was the head coach at Sussex Tech back in the day. So a little.
So who's he?
connection.
So who's he rooting for tonight?
Oh, we know Jesse, no doubt,
Of
no
course.
doubt about that.
Of course.
This is the 2 nights a year he doesn't root for the Mustangs.
Right.
For the nights that they play the Wildcats. Hetman with the drive, can't get the go, put back, and it's good for Will White.
And that's what Hetman's got to do. He's got to put his hand down, use that left hand, and attack the basket hard.
Check that, that was Garrison.
Because that's going to open everything up for everybody else.
Riley. We talked the other night, Coach Carbone, I'll get her out,
There you go.
is defensive coordinator in football, and
Right.
he's gonna be a mad scientist on the basketball floor as well.
Yeah, he's not afraid to mix it up possession to possession, which is good because it gives teams different looks. It keeps them off guard a little bit.
Swing it out for 3, no good. Rebound pulled down by Hetman. 3-2 our score. Midway here in the first quarter. We'll see our subs coming in. Dane Walker, a big guy, and Schneider can shoot. Garrison swings it over. Hetman puts it on the floor against Muller, and he draws the foul.
And High Point's got to realize that Justin Hetman's a lefty, and he really likes going to that left hand, as strong hand as anybody would. So they got to do their best to try to force him to come back to the right side.
Today, Brian, we saw two-fifths of the starting 5 of High Point's last championship team. Matt Sweeney we saw earlier,
Yes, we did.
and Chris Dexter, the AD here.
That's correct.
I want to thank Chris for his hospitality. Always great coming to High Point. And coming in is Kyle Morso. Kyle, great off the bench, lots of energy.
Yep.
He's number 23. And number 32, Kyle Willis.
Kyle Willis has a lot of length, especially with Dane Walker coming into the game with that size, grabbing his first rebound.
Right away, good call there, Coach. Junta.
And they are really collapsing on Jacob as he drives the basketball.
It will be tech ball. They'll change the call. Well, if you would have told Andrew Carbone that High Point would have 3 points,
Yeah.
3:15 to go in the first quarter, he'd sign it up. I think he'd want more than 2, though.
Right, right. This has been a feeling out quarter for both teams so far. High Point just switched up their defense, so Coach Strell getting into the mix as well.
And here comes Brian Gruber, number 1. He knows all these kids, lives in the district. Terrific athlete. What a great football season he had. He'll be back playing for Coach Brian Stellenworth next year in football. What Carbone said, he goes, if he really put his mind to it, he'd be an unbelievable
Yeah.
basketball player.
Just one of those athletes.
Yep, and a good take. And the basket for Franco.
And that's what High Point has to do. They have to look to attack the basket because they're going to have that three-point line guarded.
Garrison swings it back out. Baseline jumper. Knocking it down. Very nicely done, Anthony Schneider.
Schneider right off the bench is a little bit of instant offense. He loves that mid-range jump shot out to the three-point line, and he can knock it down.
5-4 our score. And a held ball, good defense. Garrison, a strong kid. Once he gets his paws on the ball, it's either a held ball or a steal.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they called that held ball. It was pretty quick because he seemed to rip it out right away, didn't he?
Great tackler, great offensive lineman. So on the inbounds, they get it. Tough shot in the lane, no good. Rebound pulled down by Garrison.
Carbone wants him to slow it down a little bit, see what they've got. High Point attacking with their defense now.
The little runner, no good. Junta normally takes that. Swings it back out. And a nice little runner in the lane for Kyle Morso.
That's one of Kyle's specialties, is that little floater in the lane.
I don't know if Tech's going to want to run with these guys.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, they can. They got the athletes, but
That's not really part of their,
Yeah.
their style of play, though. You're right. High Point would prefer to get it up and,
that's
down
what
a
they
little
want
bit.
to do.
Yeah.
They lure you into it. Reiner blocked again. That was Morsel. But the big guy, Walker, who's checked in, gets the board. Love the foul.
You gotta love the intensity, though. You can feel it. This is a great environment. A lot of people here representing Tech on
Yes,
the road.
Indeed. 3-team fouls on the Wildcats, picking up that foul. Jacob Junta, his first. Garrison Lindbound. Tough inbound. But the big man,
Tough.
nicely done. That's old school, Dane Walker.
Well executed play. They were trying to get Dane to duck in, quickly clear out the rest of the paint, and they were able to do that, and he delivered.
Nice roll to the basket, great look outside. Franco was trapped, and he did a great job getting rid of that. Junta again opts not to take it. More so will. Can't get it to go. Slade Miller with the rebound. Ball's loose. And are we staying here? Yes, we are. Both of these teams were supposed to play games on Tuesday, but the bad weather. So
Right.
They didn't play last night, so they have not had a game since Monday. We'll get it into Morsell.
Solid defense.
Good give to Junta. And going up strong and drawing the foul is Kyle Willis.
Gotta love that. Two big kids getting after it right there. That's a lot of length, Dan.
Yes, indeed. Made the first foul on the Mustangs. First, excuse me, on Mr. Walker.
But started by Jacob going quick back door. Dane had to come over and help, which left Willis open just enough.
We can talk about big guys, all that. Until further notice, it's a guards game, basketball.
Yeah.
Always has been.
Especially nowadays with what the three-point shot has become.
Right.
There's no question about it. Because even now you have a lot of big guys, even at this level, even at the high school level,
don't
you have a
shoot
lot
it.
of big guys that will step out and shoot it quite well. Whereas, of course, back in the day, I mean, they weren't even allowed to shoot 15-footers.
Right. Free throws make it 8-6. Griner, and that's a charge. Using their body there. Good job.
I think they got a moving screen
A
on
moving
Dane
screen?
Walker.
Okay.
And who knows? I mean, it might have been the feet might have gotten just mixed up a little bit, but you get two guys tumbling down, and the refs are going to call foul.
The foul will be on Elliot Griner, his first team second. 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. It's been a good one. 8-6, High Point with the lead and the ball. Willis surveys. Slade Muller thought about it, swings it out, catch and shoot. Frankel short. Rebound pulled down by Garrison. Here comes Elliot Griner. 14 seconds. Big guy takes the jumper, can't get it to go. Still 4 seconds to go. Loose. And that'll be after the buzzer. No good. And a very hard-fought first quarter in the books. High Point with an 8-6 lead. We'll take a break. We'll be back on the Brian Thomas YouTube channel right after this. starting the second quarter here at High Point High School. Big Colonial Division showdown between High Point and Sussex Tech. High Point with an 8-6 lead. Dan Clear along with Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas basketball. He's bringing you this game. Brian, your thoughts on that first quarter?
Well, it was a bit of a sloppy first quarter, but it was a highly entertaining first quarter. I mean, both of these two teams are really getting after it. They know what's on the line here, and I expect both teams to kind of settle in, start to get better shots now. You know, the adrenaline now is a little bit out of your system, and you can actually begin to play basketball.
Fountain a step back. Franco got a piece of that. Schneider tries to save it, and we get a timeout. Jesse Strell halfway out there gets the timeout. Jesse played here for the great Charlie Kyer.
I want to thank again both Sussex Tech and High Point for sponsoring this game tonight. They both knew what was on the line here tonight, and we're so excited to be here with them and experiencing this. This is a great atmosphere tonight, Dan.
It certainly is. So both sides filled up. It's always good to see that on a very cold Thursday night with impending snow, but the action's been great in here. Jesse Strell got his assistant coach, Bill Percy, and Travis Talame, who played here.
That's right.
Billy now the head football coach for a second time. He's excited. He's going to do a great job.
All right, let's see what kind of defense Tech starts with now. They do tend to mix it up quite a bit, as we had mentioned. And it looks like they're going to go man-to-man. We'll see if they do any trapping at all.
Have the timeout. Franco swings it over to Jacob Junter. Oh, nice give inside, but Junter will swing it out like they're going to do. Muller again.
They're moving the ball well, but to Tech's credit, they're recovering quickly enough that they can't get a shot off.
What Coach Carbone tells us? Find a shooter.
Right.
And we jokingly said that's anyone wearing a gray jersey tonight.
Just about.
Junter, and he will take it. Can't get it to go. Schneider swings it over. Will White. Back to Walker, the big man, trying to go back rim. No good. 8-6 still to score. Muller will get it over to Junta. Boy, he's got a handle.
Sure does. And he's so quick that you have to give him a couple of feet. Otherwise, he's gone.
Right. Muller with the cut to the basket. One-hander. Can't get it to go. Will White skies for the board.
High Point's doing a real nice job of cutting and finding cutters, but they're not able to get a shot off because of the length so far of Sussex Tech.
Jumper for Schneider, no good. Rebound pulled down by Kyle Willis. Gunther with a good look. Morcell still has it. Pull-up jumper, awkward shot, gets it to go.
There's that floater again. That's what he really excels at. Anywhere in that red paint, he floats it up and in. It's amazing.
10-6 our score. Hetman. Fontanez. Schneider. He's not afraid to shoot. He'll take it. Short rimmed it. Muller. Schneider all over him. He swings it over to Franco. He's left alone, and he makes him pay.
And that is found money right there because Tech missed an opportunity to trap right here at half court. Slade skip pass it all the way across, and Braden Franco does not need much time to get that shot off.
This is Hetman. Swings it over to Will White. Catch and shoot. Can't get it to go. And again, High Point's interior defense has been the difference because they're making Tech take jumpers even though they have the size advantage.
You're 100% correct.
Wow, I rarely hear that.
As you usually are.
I rarely hear that. Franco, little head shake. Oh, Junta's got a lane. Does he keep it or dish it? He keeps it and scores.
That's beautiful. And once again, as a lefty, Jacob is not afraid to use that right hand. He's crafty around the basket getting into that lane.
7-0 run to start the quarter for the Wildcats, 15-6. Hetman trying to break it, and he'll go to the line, break that streak. Be the first foul on the Wildcats, and it'll be second foul on Slade Muller.
Not often you see this. We got 2 High Point Wildcats coming in, and we got 3 Sussex Tech Mustangs coming in. So each team goes anywhere from really 7 to 9 deep, and really the entire game. It's not like they're doing that in the fourth quarter.
Garrison, Carter, and Gruber for Sussex Tech, and Tennant and Riley come back in for the Wildcats. Hetman's second free throw attempt, 4:20 to go. Back rims it, good board. Franco, great box out. Riley dumps it out. Junta took it to the hole last time. Dishes this time. Morcell can't get it to go, gets his own miss, will have a hell of a ball. Stay here with the Wildcats.
But his activity on the offensive end has really helped out High Point tonight. Whether it's those a couple of floaters he's already hitting the lane or grabbing some offensive rebounds and keeping possessions alive. Watch for Braden Franco here on this out-of-bounds play. Anytime you have a shooter taking the ball out, it's likely that it's going to be coming back to him somehow, some way. Probably out to the corner right now with a screen. There it is.
There it is.
Good job by Tech.
Junta, he goes into traffic, takes a shot to the head.
Colin Tennant's got to slip on that screen because if they're going to double all the way out to Braden in the corner, he's going to have a wide-open layup. Let's see if they run it again on the opposite side.
Carter picks up the foul, his first, team's first. Stay here with the Wildcats. Junta will inbound. Franco doesn't get the bounce. Great rebound by Hetman.
Excellent rebound. He can sky. He can get up there.
So it remains 15-6. Tech has not scored here in the second quarter. Trying to end that drought. Garrison, good ball movement. Griner spots it up, and he ends the drought.
There you go. Elliott, after a couple minutes off the bench with those fresh legs, first time touch. Wide open on the left-hand wing.
Oh, great take to the basket. Franco, great find as well.
Those are 2 kids that have played a lot of basketball together, and what you just saw is a result of that chemistry that they've built over the years.
Gruber back in. Over to Garrison, 2 football buddies.
I'm impressed with High Point's defense, aren't you, Dan? Like their
Very much
activity,
so.
their energy.
And again, they almost forced a turnover there.
Getting her hands on basketballs like almost every possession.
Colin Tennant's did a nice job back there in the middle. They swing it over. Hetman. Back over to Gruber. Hetman with the drive, can't get to go. His own miss, no good. And the third time's the charm.
Boy, you got to give him credit for continuing to work. He's like a pogo stick. He's like that Dennis Rodman back in the day, you know. By the time he's getting off the ground the second time, you're still coming down from your first jump.
Muller off the screen. Franco knocks it down, excuse me.
And as we've talked about, he does not need a big window to get that shot off. Good.
Steal by Junta. And draws the foul. Got the Brian Thomas fan club walking by.
Nice stretch here offensively, really both ends of the floor by the High Point Wildcats. If they have their defense, if they're turning Tech over and then scoring on the other end, it's going to be real difficult for Sussex Tech to hang around. Oh.
And on the inbounds, too easy. Morsel knocks it home.
Beautifully drawn play. And as we always talk about, you got to execute it, and they certainly did.
22-11 our score. Under 2 minutes go in the first half. Always active on that defensive end. Gruber tries to save it. Turnover. Schneider's going to check back in.
Noah Riley's doing a nice job up top on that zone of being active. and not fouling. A lot of times you'll have kids that play on the basketball, but they're overly aggressive and they stick those hands in too much, and then next thing you know, they're on the bench with foul trouble, and he's not doing that tonight.
Junta will bring it up. Griner will pick him up. Little one-on-one, and the blow-by can't get it to go. Griner with the take, can't finish. Hetman with a great board, can't get the putback. Colin Tennant with the board. High Point will bring it back up. Noah Riley up and under.
Beautiful finish by Riley with the right hand.
Starting to extend that lead, 24-11. You get a screen from Sean Garrison, you're going to feel it.
That's right.
From your toes to your teeth. Good anticipation by Franco.
And he's done he's known for his three-point shooting in his offense, but he's had an excellent first half on the defensive end. 2 block shots, a couple of steals, multiple deflections.
Complete player.
I think his older brother Brendan might be listening in tonight. Brendan's having a great year up at Marywood up in Scranton.
There you go. He could fill it up, 1,000 points.
Oh,
score.
yeah.
Griner. Good job by Junta on defense. High Point's defense been huge tonight. Here comes Noah Riley. Little hesitation. Offensive on Riley.
Looks like what the ref saw was maybe a right forearm as Schneider was coming on to defend him from the backside.
Second team foul on the Wildcats. Second foul on Noah Riley. 40 seconds to go.
Boy, Mustangs need a basket here in the worst way.
Yes, they do. Down 13. They've only scored 5 points in this quarter. 15 seconds. Gruber swings it back out. Griner gets set for 3. Can't get it to go. Schneider with the rebound and a putback, no good. And a rebound pulled down by Franco. 4 seconds. Junta gets in front. More so good if it goes, and he just misses it off the side rim. So a good second quarter for High Point as they'll take a 24-11 lead into the half. And when we come back, we'll have more here on Brian Thomas' YouTube page right after this. All right, we're back here live at High Point Regional High School here in Waters, New Jersey on the Brian Thomas YouTube channel. Dan Cleary along with Brian Thomas. And Brian, a good second quarter for High Point. They were up 8-6 after one, extended it with a 16-point second quarter, and they held Sussex Tech to 5. Your thoughts on that first half, and then you got some housekeeping here, right?
Yeah, really impressed with the defense. We came into this game talking about the offense for High Point and how they can light it up. And 24 points is not a lot of points, but giving up only 11 is incredibly impressive, especially against a Sussex Tech team that can really score the basketball. Definitely want to give a shout out and thank you to both Sussex Tech and High Point for sponsoring the game tonight and having us here, as well as Unique Concrete, who they are a decorative concrete company specializing in stamped concrete. They've been serving northern New Jersey and the lower Hudson Valley since 1980. You can check them out at uniqueconcretenewjersey.com and on Facebook at Unique Concrete New Jersey.
Scrambled to start the quarter, and Hetman rolls it in. Good look from Griner.
It's going to be vital, Dan, for Tech to get off to a really great start here. If they go down 15, 17, 18 points, High Point's really going to be in control.
Big bucket to start the quarter for the Mustangs. Griner really up on Junta. Franco thought about it. Kicks it back out. Junta weaves his way through, gets blocked, taps it out volleyball style.
That's right.
Gets it to Riley.
And a great pass at that.
And he knocks it down.
And you got to stay all the way up on Noah, even after he has the ball in his triple threat, as you saw there. He's not afraid to take a quick side dribble, sidestep, and let it fly.
That was playground basketball at its best. Talked about 95 last time they won a basketball title.
Right.
Mike Lipscomb checking in. High Point won one in 85. He was on that team, if my memory holds right. I'll have to look at the banner. Ray Hughes on that team. Boys basketball 86, 92, and 95. Titles for High Point. Going off the glass, Colin Tennant.
Nice job by Colin with a drop step. He is a lefty, so using that strong hand off the glass.
So it wasn't 85, it was 86. Ray Hughes was on that team. In 92. Shannon Sweeney. There's Garrison at the jumper.
Mustangs got to lock in here. They can't afford to be trading baskets back and forth.
29-15 our score. Franco, Garrison on him.
Nice.
Left alone, Muller goes baseline. Good look by Franco.
And nice little shimmy there by Slade to free himself up for an open layup.
Jeremiah Fontanez tries to work it inside to Hetman. He's fouled.
And I think so far, Dan, High Point has certainly proven that they are more than just a three-point shooting team. You know, they've defended really well, as we've spoken about, but they've also got a fair amount of baskets around the basket tonight. They're not just strictly a jump shooting team.
That's Muller's third foul. Hetman will go to the line. Rattles that out.
Besides Muller having three, I don't think anyone else is really in foul trouble, right there.
No. Good board ripped down by Muller. Riley with the long pass. Great play by Franco.
Wow.
Wow.
That was Mahomes to Kelsey right there, and a beautiful touch by Franco. I thought he was behind the backboard, but he found a way.
Great body control. Fontanez, the big guy, step back, drops it in.
Tough shot.
33-17. Again, to your point, Brian, they can't match baskets.
Correct.
Franco, he can do it from inside and out.
Yeah, he's feeling it now tonight, and that's it. If you're the Mustangs, that is bad news, because if he's feeling it, he can light it up quickly, as you've seen.
They work it into Hetman, and he gets it to fall.
Fairly low-scoring first half, but the lid has been ripped off here in this third quarter for both teams.
Riley's going to step up and hit the three. And they warm up. Oof.
And just as we say, they're a well-rounded team. They hit 2 or 3 threes in a row.
And High Point will take this. You're 2 for our
Oh,
trade.
my goodness, yes, especially with the pace, too. You know, in that first half, we saw a lot of slower possessions, 20, 25, 30 seconds. In this third quarter, I mean, it's back and forth, one pass shot, and they've all been good shots. And just like that, 20-point game. Man, that happens quick.
Real quick, when you can shoot like that and make athletic plays like Franco did in the last 2 possessions. The first meeting was 78-48. Nice look inside. Franco's on fire right now.
Miscommunication by the Mustangs on defense right there leads to a wide open layup.
And they're getting High Point into that scramble game, which is not, excuse me, Sussex Tech into that scramble game.
Yeah, they really are.
And Coach Carbone's going to call a timeout, 30-second style. And they've come out on fire. They're up 24-11 going into this quarter. 17 points already.
4 minutes, jeez.
Yeesh.
But from a variety of ways. A handful of threes, some layups, a couple mid-range. I mean, it's been all on display.
All different ways. You're exactly right. I think that the Franco catch and layup got them fired up.
Yeah.
And also Mike Lipscomb showing up from
Of course.
mid-80 teams.
Of course. A little extra mojo.
The Sussex County legend himself.
Can't ever underestimate the mojo.
Yep, and the Lippers in the house.
So now you got a lot of upperclassmen with this Mustang team, and they have to settle themselves down and say, okay, look, we just got punched in the mouth, and now we have to respond, and it's got to start on the defensive end.
On the inbound, Gruber. Can do it again. Gruber. And a turnover. Here comes Noah Riley. Jesse Strell, like all coaches, he's up by almost 20 or over 20 and he's getting mad.
100%.
You don't want the kids to get sloppy.
Right.
Griner with the take, can't get the finish. Body's flying, Junta has it. Did he go out of bounds? I believe he did. He's right on the baseline, it looks like. So Tech will inbound, this will be Griner. Check that, it'll be Gruber will take care of this. Dump it into the big man Walker. Gonna power up, gets it to go.
Same play they ran in the first half where they clear it out for Walker to duck in and use that big body. They just float it right up to him, and he's got an open layup. And there he is again, Dan. I told you, he's played for us for many, many years, and many an offseason. He's hit 7, 8, 9 threes in a game. He catches fire, man. It's nuts.
That was like an open layup.
Yeah.
And this blitz continues for High Point as Sussex Tech keeps the ball. (44-21). Wow. 20-point quarter.
Like shot out of a cannon.
20 points. We still got 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go.
They had 24 in the entire first half.
That's correct. Schneider looking to answer with a three, rattles in and out. Walker with the putback, and it's good for the big guy.
Full court man-to-man press, as you would expect at this point.
Junta loves that. It's like putting red meat in front of him.
Yeah.
Junta with the lay-in.
I mean, it's borderline impossible to keep him in front of you for 70 feet.
Carter will check back in for The Mustangs, 46-23 our score. Mustangs will pick it up. Riley with Schneider on him. Riley shakes him. Tough shot there.
Real tough.
Reiner. Inside the Walker. He's going to power up. He's got 6 in a row for them.
He's had a nice little stretch. That was a quick spin move and really nice footwork. I was going to say feet work.
He can. Their next game is against Kittatinny. Him and Logan, that should be a great battle.
A couple of big boys right there.
Wow, the foul. There was a beyond Tech. Second foul on Carter. First foul. And a timeout was called. A 30-second was the indication. Inbound right in front of us, I believe.
And High Point, really, they don't want to let off the gas right now. I mean, they want to squeeze them these last couple of minutes of this fourth quarter, and they want to put this completely out of reach.
But what a third quarter for the Wildcats, but it's always there. You're just waiting for them to simmer, and they caught fire. Again, it's like beating a dead horse, but when they're on, they're very tough to beat. Catch and shoot. Speaking of being on.
Jeez. And as I said, they're going to try to break their spirit right now. That was a drawn-up play in the timeout by Coach Strell, specifically to get Braden, who is just engulfed in flames at the moment.
He certainly
Another
is.
3 executed to perfection.
He's got 3 threes in this quarter. Foul was on Colin Tennant, his first, team's third.
And a Randy Moss catch on top of that.
Yes. Schneider catch and shoot. Nope. Battle for the ball. He's going to just pick it up and knock it down.
Here comes that press. Let's see if they look to trap a little bit. Because, again, once you get it to Jacob or Noah, it's really hard to keep them in front of you just one-on-one.
More so. He's going to knock it down.
I mean, everybody's getting involved now.
He's instant offense. We talked about that the other night. 52-27 with a minute to go. And not much Tech can do about that.
No.
Trying to answer, and they do. Schneider with another bucket.
Schneider and Walker, their offensive firepower over the last 2 or 3 minutes. Here's a quick steal.
Reiner tries to split the D, kicks it out. Schneider looks to answer, can to go. Walker, and ripped away by Morsel with 38 seconds to go here in the third.
And let's take an educated guess here, Dan, with 34.6 left. They are not going to hold for the last shot.
No.
I don't think that's going to be happening.
It's a 28-point quarter for High Point.
28.
Franco dishes it. Colin Tennant. Maybe they are going to hold for one here, Coach.
I think they were looking for one.
Yeah,
I think it was well defended.
Slade Miller with the take. Tennant with the putback.
Everything going High Point's way here in this third quarter.
54-29, a 30-point quarter.
I mean, it's not often that we'll see a 30-point quarter with boys or girls high school. So this is an incredibly impressive performance.
.6 to go in the quarter. It's the fourth foul on the Wildcats and not a shooting foul. Junta will pick up his third, but at this point, I don't think that's going to be overly critical to the success of the Wildcats. Catch and shoot, Griner can't get it go, and the buzzer will sound. So a gigantic third quarter for the High Point Wildcats, as Jesse Strell talking to the ref.
He wants more.
With the gigantic lead. But we'll head into that fourth quarter with High Point 54-29. All right, we're back here at High Point High School. What a third quarter for the Wildcats as they've extended their lead to 54-29 here on the Brian Thomas YouTube channel. Dan Cleary along with Brian Thomas. And what an effort there. I mean, what could Sussex Tech do when you're on fire like that?
Yeah, and what can you say? You know, Schneider's had a nice little run here shooting the basketball. Question, is it too little too late? But, I mean, they just absolutely caught fire in that third quarter, leading with Braden Franco, but it was everybody. I think they had probably 5 or 6 guys score in that third quarter, and that's tough to beat.
Well, the foul.
Things getting a little chippy, as things tend to do when you're down by 20-plus points. A lot of frustration on that Mustang side, understandably so.
Right, and there were some big kids out there, too. They could do some damage.
Yeah.
And off the inbounds, Riley gives it up to Muller, back to Riley. Step back three for Riley, no good. Rebound pulled down, Morsell, and he gets the offensive putback.
He's had a really nice offensive game, and besides that three, again, it's all floaters, all inside the paint.
High Point 6 game, they play Whippany Park out of conference, or out of division, I should say. Schneider trying to keep that hot hand, can't get it to go. High Point will bring it up. Morsell pulls it up, can't get it the full, gets his own miss, sends it back out. Riley, in great look inside to Colin Tennant.
Excellent vision. I think he saw that early, but his angle was a little covered up by the defense, so a couple quick dribbles, and it opened it wide open for Colin Tennant.
Gruber. Franco on him. Griner with the take, Tennant with the rebound. This is Riley. Little shake and bake, up and under, good. 60-32.
Yeah, I mean, they're just showing everything tonight, Dan, offensively.
Fontenez with the move.
Pretty. But again, as we've said since early third quarter, they can't afford to exchange buckets, certainly at this point.
This is going to be pickup basketball from here on out.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Morsell. Back out to Riley. Riley will crossover, dumps it inside again to Tennant. Beautiful dime.
We spoke about this a little while ago between Riley and Jacob. It's really hard to keep them in front of you as ball handlers, so you almost got to give them a little bit of extra space. The problem is the way they're shooting it tonight. you can't really give them a lot of extra space. So then they blow right by and create for their teammates.
Fontaine has called for the offensive foul. So very strong effort tonight, to say the least.
Yeah.
And they're on their way to moving to 6-0 in division play. And it's going to be very tough to catch them. They're going to have to be upset by some teams along the way. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah, they got to be feeling good about the position that they're in, and especially the way this game went down. It's not just a win. I mean, this is a convincing, confidence-building win that in a big game we can step up and play really, really well.
And they laid the foundation to the big win with defense, not offense.
Right.
Will White leaning in there. And this is what you don't want to see. With the 30-point lead, that's what's gonna happen sometimes,
sure,
folks. You hate to see anyone hurt. Jesse Strell barking at Andrew Carbone. But you're up 30. You're gonna play street ball. That's what's gonna happen, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, it's the nature of the game, especially when you have, becomes a little bit tense. You got emotions. Look, as we talked about earlier, Mustangs coming in here ready to play. They want to have a big win, a statement win for their program, and it doesn't go their way. Of course, there's going to be a lot of emotions. There's going to be a lot of frustrations. And you're right. This is when you got to be careful, and the officials got to be careful as well. They got to make sure they're still fully in control of the game. And I like what they're doing here, talking to the coaches, making sure everybody's on the same page.
You know, the kids from Tech can't be chippy, but if you're High Point, you're rubbing it in their face too.
Sure.
So there's two sides here.
Without a doubt. Goes both ways, as it usually does.
I mean, these guys from High Point put on some razzle-dazzle moves. The guys from Tech are not going to take to that.
Right.
So good job officiating, talking to both coaches. Both coaches are great guys. On the inbounds. Dylan Jenkins is checked in, number 5.
Going back to what you said before, Dan, we saw that explosion in the third quarter, but you made an excellent point. In that first half where they got the 13-point lead, it was about their defense first. I mean, they only gave up, 11 points in that entire first half, which really set the foundation for their offense to go crazy in the third quarter.
Just were waiting for them to go off, and the defense kept it there. And they, in fact, got them the lead. They were up 2 after 1, and then they were up 24-11 in the second quarter, going into the break. Junta. Slade Muller swings back out to Junta. Long 3, no good. Walker Skies for the board. Dean Odell is checked in for Sussex Tech, number 21. Checking in for a High Point, number 10, Miguel Gonzalez.
Coach Strell emptying his bench, putting a couple of freshmen in there.
Smart
Absolutely.
move. You got bigger fish to fry. You got a 30-point lead. You don't need anyone getting hurt.
Get the young kids a little bit of experience in a game like this, a little taste of it, a little taste of the speed, the energy, the environment. It's one thing watching on the bench. It's another thing having the ball in your hands.
And a great take to the basket by Jenkins, the freshman. Plus, you put some quarters towards that varsity letter.
That's right.
Here's Will White. Odell. Back to White. And bailed out with the foul. Tough shot. They're going to get jumped on the foul. I think that's 4 on him,
I
possibly.
believe so.
Bill O'Reilly's still feeling it over there. Looking at him at the bench.
Yeah, I think his night will be finished.
Yes, as well it should be. You don't need to get him hurt.
Yeah, just to be sure.
Rebound Muller. We approach 3 minutes to go. Brian, what's new with BT basketball?
All kinds of good stuff, Dan. You can check out BrianThomasBasketball.com. We actually have a couple things coming up. We've got our spring team tryouts on February 4th and the 11th over at Sparta High School, which we're very excited about. Last spring we had close to 20 teams, and we're looking forward to matching that, if not more, again this year. So make sure you register for our spring team tryouts on the 4th and the 11th of February. And check that all out at BrianThomasBasketball.com. And, of course, we're also on Instagram and on Facebook.
Got it all covered at BT Basketball. Odell, a little jump stop. Allow the whistle.
Dane Walker's had a nice game offensively. He's been active on the boards. He's been able to use his body. Strong power dribbles, gotten to the line a few times.
Picking up the foul. Kyle Willis, his first, team second.
Shout out to High Point and Chris Dexter for hosting us here again, for sponsoring the game along with Sussex Tech. Dexter always hooked us up with the table and the chairs right here at half court. The beautiful view, and of course, check out UniqueConcreteNewJersey.com, and you can find them on Facebook also at Unique Concrete New Jersey. Check them out.
All righty, this is Gonzalez in there, the freshman. Dumps it inside, and Willis keeps it alive. And another nice take, but blocked, and a foul. Dylan Jenkins. We talked about seeing two-fifths of that starting five.
Yeah.
We saw Shannon Sweeney, one of the all-time leading scorers here.
Right.
1,300 points. Obviously, High Point known for wrestling, and rightfully so. But they have a very nice basketball tradition on both sides. Talking to Chris Dexter, when we were talking about when he was coaching, and I asked him about some of the teams. He says his most satisfying win was when they beat Newark Tech for his 350th. Not because it was 350, they were considered the underdogs and just played almost a perfect game. Kayla Halloran got them going that day, remember?
Right, I sure do.
Will White can't get to go. Carter with the rebound. And attacking the basket, Garrison will have a foul.
I mean, look, with Dexter and all those wins, he's got a lot of memories to choose from.
Yeah, but he came right to that because I think the game we played our best ever was the win over Newark Tech. Newark Tech has some Division I kids on that team.
Right. I believe that was the game. Was that down in Bayonne?
No, that was in Bloomfield.
Bloomfield, that's correct.
Got your B's right.
Right, right.
You and I did that game.
Sure did.
But then again, what big game haven't you and I
Yeah,
done?
you're right.
Which has been a pleasure sitting next to you.
It sure has, but Halloran went nuts in that first half. I think she had 5 threes, and she wasn't really known necessarily as like a three-point shooter, but man, she went crazy, and everybody else took it from there in the second half.
Newark Tech must have been looking, who did our scouting?
right.
The scouts fired.
Man, that was crazy.
And we always talk about when we see High Point boys that run when they had Adam Walton, Kyle Adams, and Brad Smolin, and the Pochuk kid.
Standing room only in here that one state game night.
Yes, it was, and they won it. I think it was Dumont, if I remember right.
Adam Walton had a great game that night.
Yes, he did. And up and under, can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by Tech, 1:33 to go. So where do we go from here with High Point, Coach? They look like they're in right hits to three. They're in the driver's seat. Now let's talk HWS.
Right.
You've seen some teams. Obviously, HWS, you have some higher level clubs, but I think this High Point team can make some noise.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I can't really speak for a lot of the Hunterdon teams just because I haven't seen any
They're
of
all
those.
big and physical.
Right. But as far as, certainly the local teams, you're going to have to deal with Vernon. You're certainly going to have to deal with Sparta. Sparta's a young team that got off to a bit of a choppy start, but they've got some big wins, and they've got some talent on that team and some young talent. And as the season goes on, they're going to get much, much better because they play such a tough schedule, too.
Yes, they do.
That they're certainly going to be battle-tested. So there's a handful of teams. But I think High Point, to your point, can make some noise and do some damage.
They got the puncher's chance. I don't know what's going on over there.
I'm not sure, Dan.
Referee stopping the game. But High Point's got the puncher's chance with that three-point shooting.
Yes.
Doesn't matter who they play.
And look, if they defend like they did in the first half tonight, you know, I mean, this is a great microcosm of I think, who Coach Strell wants them to be. You know, they want to be able to shoot the ball really well. They want to be able to score a lot of points. But if you're not defending, you could still end up losing the basketball game. Oh, boy, that looks like maybe an ankle there as well.
Yep.
I'm glad he popped back up because that
did.
Oof.
34 seconds to go. Do not want to get anyone hurt right
No.
now. And the referee is telling them right now, guys, that's it.
30 seconds left.
And you don't want to get a tee and get thrown out because then you got to sit a game. And
Yeah.
then if someone gets thrown out before the season ends, you can't play in the States.
Right.
Not the individual, the
Yeah.
team.
And you're talking about the HWS, you know, seedings are next week.
Yep.
You got a couple more games before that. You know, you make a bad decision and you lose a game or two and it can mess up your entire season.
Yep, just keep it cool, guys. 34 seconds to go. We'll double the ball. Will White with the steal, 20 seconds to go. And if you're Sussex Tech, where do you go from here?
Well, you got to go back to the drawing board, really. You got to say, okay, well, we didn't defend the three-point line all that well, and there was a bit of a lid on the basket for us today. So we got to look to go back to the drawing board and figure out what got us to this point and really go back to that.
Well, a big win for the Wildcats in a big second quarter, and then from there on out, as they'll post a 65-47 win, they'll move to 8-3, 6-0 in the Colonial Division. Sussex Tech will fall to 7-3 and 4-2 in the Colonial Division. Brian, great job as always fun.
Thanks, Dan.
And we'll see you again soon on the Brian Thomas Basketball Network.
All right, welcome back, Coach Strail. You guys did a great job tonight. We talked a lot about your offense coming into the game, about how you guys can get hot from the three-point line, which obviously you did. But talk about in that first half, your defense, you guys only let up 11 points in that first half. How do you guys feel like that was the foundation for what happened in the second half?
Yeah, really happy with that. You know, we like to shoot the ball and we can make shots, but we want to be consistent defensively. Sometimes you could take a good shot and it just doesn't go in. So you know you can rely on defense to get you through. So it's nice to see them lock up in the first half. 11 points was awesome.
Braden Franco, had yourself a game out there, my man. Just kind of caught fire, especially in that second half, but also showing the well-rounded. It wasn't just threes. You played a lot of defense tonight. You got a lot of tips, a couple of blocks, a couple of layups. Tell us about how your offensive game felt tonight and what it feels like being in that zone.
Well, when you're in the zone, it kind of feels easy to score. Like coming off the screens on the inbound plays, just it feels fluent. And it's all about the work you put in the offseason. Thanks to you, obviously. But
no, thanks to you. You're the one putting in the work yourself.
Yeah. But, you know, I can't do it without my teammates. Jacob's a great point guard. He gets me open shots. And Noah Riley, too. He was really dishing the rock today.
Yes, without a doubt. Jacob, you came in tonight and played an incredible game as a floor general. You defended really well. You handled the basketball. You didn't turn the basketball over. Tell us how it feels to be kind of the head of the snake on both sides of the floor.
You know, it feels good. It really does. It feels great for me personally to see my team do great. I love when Braden scores a lot of points. I love when Noah's getting hot. Typically in the third, fourth quarter. It feels great to see everyone do good and to know, like, you know, behind the curtains almost, that, you know, I'm kind of setting up, like I'm kind of a part of it. You know, I like that. But I love to see everyone shine. I love to see Braden score 23 points, double digits. I love to see Noah cook. You know, I love to see everyone hitting shots. You know, it feels good. It feels great.
Awesome. Coach, one more for you. After a performance like this tonight, how did you guys feel like this sets you up? Because it was a great game defensively for you, and then, of course, you guys went nuts. You guys scored 30 points in the third quarter alone. So how do you feel like this momentum can carry you throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah, we know we have to bring it every day, right? We come in with the mentality we just want to get better, stay hungry. So when you have some success against a good team like Sussex Tech, it's easy to stay hungry and keep coming to practice and keep trying to get better. So that's what we're going to continue to do. We're having fun. I don't think practice goes by so fast for us, I think, because we have a good time out there. So let's just keep it going.
Awesome. Congratulations, guys. Thanks for tuning in once again tonight. We got another game coming up this coming Saturday, 1 o'clock. It's going to be Parsippany Hill boys at Vernon boys. Make sure you tune in at BT Broadcasting, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, bro.
Excellent job, fellas.